Hello Team AZ, my name is Val Volino and I am here to accompany you on a virtual tour by AZ Armatura in Brazil in our casting unit. Our factory is located 70 kilometers from the city of Sao Paulo, close to the main ports and airports of Brazil. Today we have more than 220 employees in a built area with more than 10,000 square meters. Come with me. The development. The first step of the process of development of a cast component is the simulation of casting and solidification, in which it is possible to identify previously possible failures in the part, and if necessary, refine the assembly of the channels. In this way, we significantly reduce the occurrence of failures such as cracks, pores and retractions in our castings. The tool shop. After the validation of the casting process, the design and construction of the model in our own tooling is initiated. Our models are always built in naval aluminum. The wax injectors. Now let's start the casting process. The first step is the injection of wax into the molds. For each part produced, a wax part will be injected. The wax assembly. The next step is the deburring of the wax pieces. Here every detail or imperfection in the wax will be reflected in the steel. So the final finish of the piece begins in this activity, counting on a super detail-oriented female team. Here is also made the assembly of the wax parts, mainly for small components. The coating. This process is very similar to that used by the Germans for the preparation of the famous schnitzel dish. Here is the coating department where the production of the ceramic model begins. This activity consists of dipping the wax parts in a zirconia slurry and soon after submits it in a rain of sand. After the drying, the process is repeated and so on until we have the precise thickness. Part of this process happens manually, and part automated by a very effective robot. The dewaxing. Now we have the ceramic mold. The next step is to remove the wax. For this we use an autoclave oven that melts and extracts the wax, which will be further recycled. Now the mold is almost ready to receive the steel. The calcination. To avoid a thermal shock that could cause an imbalance in the solidification of the steel as well as improve the mechanical properties of the ceramic mold, it is necessary the calcination process, which is done in furnaces at a temperature of 950 degrees Celsius. The casting. At this stage, the ceramic molds are removed from the calcination furnace and will immediately receive the steel casting. One of the most visually beautiful processes. The mold removal. After so much work to build the mold, now we will destroy it after the solidification of the steel. This automatic hammering machine has the function of breaking the ceramic shell. And one detail, this is the only residue of our whole process. The primary sandblasting. Soon after the breaking of the ceramic molds, these parts with encrusted ceramics will follow to our primary sandblast. It has the function of removing most of the ceramic residues embedded in the piece. The assembly cutoff. Here we begin to separate the assembled pieces as well as feeding channels, so the parts K follow the further processes individually. The deburring. So here begins the finishing and deburring of all cast components utilizing multiple tools. The engraving. On this process we engrave 100% of our components so each one will have round traceability and material. The heat treatment. Apart from some nickel alloys such as Monel and CZ100, all other materials are heat treated. This process aims to standardize the mechanical properties within the limits established by their respective standards or special requirements of customers. The finishing sandblasting. This equipment removes waste generated in the heat treatment furnace and standardizes the surface finish of the part. Here we have two jets, one for alloys and stainless steel and another for carbon steel parts. The pickling. The components are submerged in an acidic solution that aims to extract free iron and other impurities deposited on the surface of the part and prevent future oxidation processes of the surface. The testing lab. Our foundry has a complete laboratory, in which we do mechanical and chemical analysis of 100% of our rounds. The mechanical tests analyzing traction, elongation and impact are also done in our lab. In this way we can guarantee the quality of our castings. This is our expert doing the metallographic analysis. In addition to the equipment used in our process, we also have a microscope to perform metallographic testing. The final parts. Finally, we have our final parts to serve all our end customers with high-end quality and efficiency. AZ Armature in Brazil greatly appreciates your attention, and we hope to further present our new developments, processes, and solutions for the next meeting in 2024. Good job, Team AZ!